Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all today? It's Friday, and you've made it to the end of another week. Who would have thought that was even possible? Amazing. You are all absolutely amazing.
Good morning. Are you ready to get energized? That's good because it's time to get up.
Okie dokie, how are yous? Welcome to the early show. Welcome to your little injectione of fun and frolics in the grand world of mojaxhappy on a day where the papers are dominated by the passing of an absolute legend, Dame Vera Lynn. She passed away at 103. 103. Wow, what a lady. So the papers are pretty much dedicated to her, and I've pulled up some old pictures of her as well, growing up in her lifetime. That we will go through a lot of these things as well today, because that's kind of where the world is. Well, the world of papers are, and if there's anything else interesting, we will have a look at that too. But yeah, I hope you're good. Hope you're well. Let us jump over to the different cam where that's the one we want, and we want to be on there. Good, excellent. And let's unmute this one. Get ready for a wee echo. Maybe not. No, there it is. Do you hear the echo? Good. Right, good. Hold on. Is that ping? Hello, check 1 2. Yes, it is. It's working fine. Let's have a quick look at the chit chat. Good morning, Pickles. How are you? Oh, big stretchy. I don't have a dormitory full of kids today. I just have two of them on the sofa. A big kid decided he wanted to sleep in his own bed last night because he didn't want me waking him up so early in the morning. He's a good boy. Oh no. Or don't make coffee that way. That's poor. I've already had a coffee today. I was about to top it up with other stuff. So it's Friday. The children go back to their mum's house this morning. For between sort of 2 and 2:30. They should have very minimal schoolwork to do, and then I've got the weekend with the baby. Oh, excuse me, and the good lady wife. My good lady. Oh yes, my good lady. She's a good lady. And we have tonight. We have the old. What's it? We have open mic night. Yes. I have nothing entertaining lined up for open mic night tonight this week, but next week, oh yes. Next week we have a lot of entertaining things happening, and that is Gina and her cards. Oh, that's good. I dry up so quickly these days. It's crazy. It is crazy. Good morning. Truth always wins as well. We're just going to call you Truth, like we always do. Okay. I'm going to. Oh, that's not right. Are we back on? We might lose. Oh no, we're okay. Okay, I'm just looking at the chat at the same time. Cam and Mike. I want to turn the camera around. You've got to push. We used to be able to, change the camera with the push of one button, but now we have to go through four different things. It's cold today. I sleep with the living room window open last night, and it is cold. Oh my goodness, I don't want to stick my head out for too long here. Yeah, you can hear the birdies. Look, seagulls. Where have they gone? Can you see them? Yeah, it's cold. There's a bit of drizzle. Drizzle. I don't think it's going to get any nicer today. I'm no expert. I just go on what I see. That's just the pure weather window. I mean, it's not the weather in your area, it's just the weather in my area, and it helps me decide. I'm not even sticking my head out. The air's good, okay? You have to trust me. Why are you not going to turn around? There we go. The air is good. I'm not sticking my head out the window for too long today because it is cold. Oh, it's very, very cold. And I'm a Scotsman, I kind of get used to the chill. But there you have it. Oh, we need to change the cameras over again, don't we? No point in doing this unless we change the camera back again. There we go. And we're done. We are done. Hello, is this working? Yes, it is. I think I need to put the sound up just a little bit so I can hear my own dulcet tones. There we go, just a little bit higher. Good, excellent. So we have our coffee, we've looked out the window, the weather is poor today, and the cold air is actually really, it's not a comfortable coolness, it's like I want to stay under my bed covers coldness. It's like, I want to stay cozy. What's the weather like where you guys are? I hope it's not as minging as it is here. What can I say? Blah. So, quick look at the chit chat. Here we go. Dirty Mac's in the house. Good morning, Mr. Mac. I hope you're good. It's effing hot. Whereabouts are you, Mac, in the world anyway? I've always wanted to find out. Just the general geographic location, and don't say the northern hemisphere. It's chilly and rainy at the moment where you are. And where are you, Truth? Hang on, what was that say? Right, in the USA. Right, cool. USA, good. I used to live in Florida when I was younger, so I know what that humid heat is like for parts of America, and it's quite a stingy heat. We lived on the Gulf of Mexico side, in a town north of Clearwater called Newport Richey, which was great, and it's miserable down there. Yeah, Florida hot as hell. Yeah, and it is hot. It's crazy down there, but I mean, it's wild. It's funny because my stepdad, he still lives out there, and when he comes across to visit, we have a glorious summer in Scotland, and we're walking around in our shorts and we're walking around in our t-shirts. Sometimes we have our t-shirts off, taps off weather, and he's walking around wearing a sweater, a jacket and trousers, going, oh my god, it's freezing. And I'm like, you're a weirdo. Crazy. So yeah, Florida is itchy nose. Florida is kind of hot. I've experienced New York in the summer as well. New York felt kind of with the cars and things, felt like a dirty heat. kind of close, and it was in Manhattan where I was. I felt like the heat didn't have a chance to move around much. It was quite still. And then I travelled right down the whole East Coast on the Amtrak trains, stopping off at wonderful places. And yeah, and the weather. I'm a Scotsman. I like talking about the weather. It's one of those crazy things. And everywhere we stopped, it was different. You know, America's a big ass place. It's like Russia. Russia's even bigger. You wouldn't think. I mean, people think Moscow cold, grey, snowy. It's not. It's the most seasonal city that I've ever been in, and it's beautiful. It's also the city, cleaner than anywhere I've ever been in the world. I'll be honest with you. It's like Russians have a pride that we in the West kind of forgot. I mean, I can guarantee that you guys will all put your litter in the bin and things like that, but not everybody does that here. They tend to just drop it and not give a shit. They spit their gum out, and you see gum parts on the sidewalk. I was in Moscow for 10 days the first time I went there, and we did all the tourist things everywhere you could imagine. My itinerary was planned to the hour by my future wife at the time, and I swear to God, there was never a time that I saw a bit of litter on the ground. There was never a time that there was a cigarette butt on the ground. There was never a time that there was gum stuck to the ground. I found this incredible. Even when we went for our Russian McDonald's, which is McDonald's, yeah, they have McDonald's in Russia. Yes, they do. And KFC and Burger King. They have every one of them. Maybe they don't have KFC. I don't know, I can't remember. Anyway, they definitely had McDonald's, and we were sitting in a little park just outside where the McDonald's were, and it's very close to Red Square, and there was not a single McDonald's wrapper anywhere. Hundreds of people eating their McDonald's, not one wrapper, box, cup, lid, straw, paper from straws anywhere. Nothing at all. Couldn't believe it. I was watching people finish their lunch and walk to the bins outside McDonald's. Why are we not like that? Why do we have this self-importance, we're better than every person else sort of attitude? Somebody else will do it. It's a disgrace. Right, goodbye truth. I wish you could stay for the whole show, but it's almost 2 a.m. there, so gotta sleep. You sleep. It's nice to have you here. When you pop your head in, it's always very good. I get sleep is an important thing. I mean, it really is. Oh, hold on. That's my daughter's alarm going off. As she... yep, switch it off. Good girl. And she's back to sleep. Oh, cutie pie. That is the 6:45 too. And Dirty Mac's going to sleep too as well, late as F. Yes, indeed. Yeah, listen, you guys just popping in to say hello means the world to me. You have to realise that. So don't think that I don't appreciate it. Have I listened to that song yet? Which song is that? Hold on. Did you send me a link for a song? I may have missed that, Mac. I am so sorry. Apologies. By all means, send the link again, and I will look it up, or just tell me the name of it, and we will sort that out. I may have missed that in the chat last time you were here, my friend. I apologise for that. Iceland don't have McDonald's. Yep. I get that. And they do have something else. I can't remember what it is that they've got, but you're right. They closed McDonald's. I believe closed down their only branch, or their one of 2 branches or something. Can't remember. Well, I'll ask Magnus. Listen, let's have a look at the papers just now. Oh yes, Jelly Roll. Yes, I remember now. I've not looked at. I did have it up on my phone. I had it up on my phone, and then I got distracted with the kids doing something else. But I remember now. I will make it a point. In fact, we will bring it up on the tube of you just now, so it sits on my phone. 1 second, and we will have a closer examination of it. Right, we want to get rid of you. We want to bring up this, and then we're going to go to the papers. I'm only rambling on as much just now because when I looked at the papers very briefly before we came on, there we go. Jelly roll, save me new. Excellent. Right, nice one. It's sitting on my phone. First thing after the show is done, we will have a closer look at that, my friend. Ask my wife if she has heard of Lindemann's side project of emigrate. I'd like to know her opinion. Lindemann's. I'm gonna Google that myself just now. See, the only Lindemann's I know is Lindemann's chocolate. Alright, and I don't think it can't possibly be anything like chocolate. Right, okay. This is to do with Ramstein. Okay, I take it that's what it is. Yeah, she's a fan of Ramstein, and she would love to have gone. She's a bit like me. She would quite happily go to a gig, but the two of us would like to know exactly where the closest exit is. That's the soldier in me. I subconsciously prepare an exit strategy every single time I try to stay one step ahead of any impending disaster. That's just who I am. I'll have a closer look at that, and she's probably read about it. She's quite a well-read lady. When the baby's sort of like doing his thing, she kind of has the phone out reading lots of stuff. Listen, let us go to the papers just now, because it's time to have a wee look at Dame Vera Lynn. There she is. Beautiful lady, we shame. She was always there for us in our darkest hours, first against the Nazis and then against COVID-19. Today we mourn a true British hero. We'll meet again. Nation's sweetheart, bless her. The Mirror calls Dame Vera Lynn a true British hero. Following the news of her death, aged 103, she was there for us during the World War II and the coronavirus pandemic. It says, Dame Vera is pictured wearing her Entertainment's National Service Association uniform and visiting troops in the 1940s. She was a good-looking lady, you know, and she had a tremendous voice. You can never deny that. There's the same picture, the Queen saying, I'm not going to mock the Queen in any way today, or the royal family. It's not a day of mocking anybody unless Dominic Cummings is on any of the headlines. It's open season for him in any particular day whatsoever. I just about knocked my coffee over there. But you know, it's definitely a sad day with Vera Lynn not being around anymore. Like I say, most of the papers are going to be dominated by this headline, the Metro. There, that is a wow. What a stunning picture. 1917 to 2020. What a life. What a life. Dame Vera Lynn. Wow. She came into your school once and you got a hug. What? I am speaking to somebody that has hugged Dame Vera Lynn. Morgan, that is amazing. Wow. Incredible. That is something incredibly that's see, when people tell me those sort of things, when you get to spend time with somebody who has touched millions of people, that means you've been in the presence of a legend. They have a special kind of energy, I think. They have a special sort of like goodness about them. I mean, you couldn't imagine Dame Vera Lynn being like, you know, nasty or toxic. I mean, everybody does have a bit of that in them at some point or another, but you couldn't imagine her being negative about bullshit or anything like that, you know. She was super adorable and lovely. I can believe that, you know. Here's a question for you, it's just while we're going through this, talking about legends then. Anybody at all in history, living or dead, in fact two, your top two favourite historical characters. Think about it. Who would you like to sit down and have a coffee with and a half-hour chat? You only get a half-hour chat with them, and you only get to ask a few questions, so it's not like you're hanging out or anything, and it has to be something burning for yourself to know about that person. Have a think about it. You don't need to write the questions down, but just your top two historical figures. We'll come back to that as you put your answers up. Dame Vera Lynn, let's move on. The Daily Mail, we will not mock the Mail today. Good night, sweetheart. Vera Lynn, voice of a generation, 17 to 20. Wow. How many more corona fiascos? Oh, here we go. We can talk about something other than Vera Lynn. Good. After PPE and testing shambles, Minister scraps his own virus tracing app. Now, we touched on this last night. A new version may not be ready by winter. Wow. Then why don't they just go to Iceland and ask the people in Iceland? I mean, for God's sake, they've been doing it there for months now. Dame Vera Lynn was a voice of a generation, says the Daily Mail, which features a 6-page souvenir tribute to the singer. In its top story, it says the government's decision to ditch the way its corona tracing app works is an embarrassment and a damaging U-turn. How many more corona fiascos? And there we have on the top of the Times as well, tech failures leave the tracing plan in disarray. It's a crazy thing. I just want to point out to you, while we're here just now, we're not going to talk about Vera Lynn for 5 minutes. We're going to talk about the collective incompetence of the UK government. I can comment quite happily on this because it's really what all I've done since starting to stream. It's the whole point. I started off way back when I started to do a regular stream, starting to stream at midnight, and the whole program was called the COVID Chronicles, and we had it broken down into the COVID Chronicles, which was like the news about the virus, then Corona Idiots, and then it was the isolation games. We did it like as a magazine, 5 nights a week. There was so much information and news stuff going on in the world at the time, but I knew it would eventually end, and we kind of evolved the show to where it is today, and the whole channel. So Radio Apocalypse is like an ironic name. We don't talk about the apocalypse, it's not negative, it's like the apocalypse of nonsense and bullshit in the world. That's the way that I look about it. But we do like to have opinions, and I've had people, really interesting people, comment and send me messages through social media saying, with a bit of guidance from people that stream similar sort of things that have got like quite a big following and stuff, saying, we like what you do, we like the fact that you have an opinion. It's kind of rare. So many people turn round and they're false, they play to the masses, and you don't, and that's good. And the fact that I don't conform means that I will grow tinily, very slowly, and I'm happy with that. It means I can interact on a personal level with you guys, but it also gives me the credibility that I can have an opinion, and my opinion about the UK government's handling of this virus is I just think they're garbage. I don't. If my SNP Scottish government had handled it the same way, I would have been saying the same things. I am not backwards about going forwards. You know, it's a straightforward case that Nicola Sturgeon has had more empathy and sincerity compared to anybody else. Now, love her or hate her, okay, if you form your opinion on Nicola Sturgeon on the basis of what other people say, alright, and the same thing as Boris Johnson without reading about them, alright, you're a dick. Okay, what has she done that is negative during this virus? Well, the only thing in my book is that she's missed an opportunity, in my opinion, for talking about independence. But the person in me says it's not the time to talk about independence. I think that the independence movement can just sit there simmering quite happily, just waiting for the moment when we rise our heads above the surface of this national crisis again, and we will do this. We will definitely do it. The whole thing with the way that Boris and Westminster have done everything, though, is it's one fiasco after another. Okay, we're still technically part of Europe just now. We were invited to all the let's go out and buy shit together chats, and we didn't do it. They didn't. They just, oh, we lost the email. We didn't get involved. It's an absolute disgrace. And on more than one occasion that happened. On more than one occasion. You know, yeah, I agree with you, Barry. I mean, I totally agree with you. That's what I said. She missed an opportunity, but she shouldn't be doing it. You know, because basically the way things are, everything kind of speaks for itself in a positive way for it all. And good morning, good sir, for it all. But long and short of it, it's to move from one fiasco to another, to turn round and blame other people for things, for their experts in both Scotland and England to turn round and break the rules on lockdown. And those particular, we're talking about one particular chief scientist down in England, chief scientific spokesman, and the chief medical officer in Scotland, both breaking lockdown, was both falling on their swords and sticking their hands up and saying, yeah, we did it. We kind of lose our credibility. But then Dominic Cummings to do the same thing, and then him gaslight the nation. I mean, he is the right-hand man of the leader of these islands. It's a disgrace. And then we move into we had the testing fiasco. It's all bluster, bullshit, and nonsense. It's all talk. People died. They weren't taking it seriously to begin with, and now the tech issue of the track and trace things. Okay, if we're so great in Britain, all right, if we are so great, the money spent to develop that software and to have it working could have been spent to buy the software from whatever company developed it for Iceland. They've been doing it since day one in Iceland. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble too long. They're a fucking disgrace, right? Sorry, I need to say that. Our government, well, the Westminster administration, are a disgrace. Good rant, good ramble. Let's get back to the papayers and continue with what they are saying. Okay. Yeah, so the tech failure. National Tutor Scheme for Struggling Pupils. I like that. That is something that I totally agree with. What does it say in the blurb? Leading with the same story, the Times ministers played down the setback, but it will hamper efforts to lift social distancing restrictions. It quotes Health Secretary Matt Hancock vowing to join forces with Apple and Google, but reports that Apple said it had not been consulted about the plan. What? Oh my god. Apple saying, hey, can you imagine that, okay? The team at Apple, they're sitting there having their morning meeting, drinking their coffee, eating their muesli. What we're doing today, I don't know, we could go and like do something to make the batteries better for our phones and stuff. Nah, we're not going to do that. Wait, hold on. And they look up and they see around the screens in their room where all the news articles are coming in, and it says, Great Britain to join forces with Google and Apple. Did anybody else get that message? Are we joining forces with the UK government? But they're all assholes. They can't even pick up an email, to join forces with the rest of Europe to buy masks and shit. Have we... What? But, we're pretty dickish ourselves, but we're not that bad. Shit, what? That's just hilarious. Yes, we are going to join forces with Google and Apple and make this thing work. Oh, sorry, politician pointing. And make this thing work. We need to do this. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. Our fantastic new app developed by Google and Apple. Excuse me. Hold on. Yes, this is Apple. Can I speak to Matt Hancock, please? No. Okay, bye. Amazing. I can't get over that. That's a joke. Okay, let's move in. The Guardian. Nice picture of Vera again there, bless her. Revealed the dysfunctional, toxic culture that led to the Labour defeat. Okay, let's read the blurb. Labour's 2019 general election campaign was a picture of dysfunctional toxicity and drift, according to The Guardian. Its top story is based on a 150-page interview of the election by party group leader Together, Labour Together, party group Labour Together. A lack of clarity on strategy and leadership, poorly coordinated digital content, unrealistic seat targeting, and the Tories' pledge to get Brexit done are among the review key findings. Let's just face it, okay. As much as I liked Corbyn as a person, he was not the right leader for Labour. Labour are too, within themselves, are too polarised from the days of Tony Blair and a sort of a socialist way of thinking. Whereas I don't disagree with their socialist way of thinking. I think the word socialism scares the crap out of people. But at the same time, it's something that my opinion is we should manage civilization with for the people values. Okay, move away from the word socialism, but for the people. We live in a world where greed is not necessary anymore. Outlandish, freakish control and nanny statism is not ready anymore. It's not there anymore. We don't need it. We are grown-ups. Most of us are grown-ups anyway, apart from those assholes that do stupid things and take advantage of people. Okay, but in the great grand scheme of things, okay, I think the majority of us are sensible. Alright, I think the majority of us are sensible. So why can't we have a society where, we pay our taxes? We need to pay for civilization. It's not going to work on its own. Alright, we've got too many. We don't have dirt roads anymore, and we don't have Pony Express going around delivering stuff. We've got the internet. We need electricity. We need to grow food. We need that infrastructure. We need education. We need medical help. We need power, utilities. We need all of this. Alright, that needs to be managed on a for the people basis, so everybody has a good, positive lifestyle. And then everything else can be capitalist. As long as the capitalism puts people first as opposed to the corporations and numbers and things like that, then that's cool. So workers' rights have to come first. Holidays for their workers have to come first. Paid holidays for that matter. Alright? And so on and so forth. And then what's left over is profit. And if we went on those values, I would be happier. But that is not the world we live in, because unfortunately people like Boris and Trump are not like that. you know. And I'm not just saying that they're not like that. There's a lot of leaders that are not like that, and basically the direction that we take collectively as a planet is disgraceful, because it's more important to pull down statues of people than to actually go in and change legislation. And I don't know how deep the American legislation that Trump is talking about with reforms so the police actually goes, whether it's worth the paper it's written on. But on the surface, him saying that that's going to happen is a very good thing. Alright, it'd be interesting to see what sort of levels it goes to, what sort of protections it's got in place for the citizens of America from the police with these police reforms. What are they doing over here? Talking about pulling down statues of Cecil Rhodes. I've not seen anything. There might well be something about institutional racism and changing the laws and stuff, or setting up a committee to talk about it and not changing anything as per usual. But no, we need to evolve and change, and now's the time to do it. People have had time to think and be away from their work for a good length of time. We are in a paradigm shift, and I would like to see it shift to a positive paradigm. Hence my Sunday show, hence sending out ripples of love, hence why I want you guys to come and give me messages to tell people, to be perfectly honest. Let's have a look. Corbyn is a dittery old man who chats incessantly to you about bus stops. Yeah. And Labour, what's that? Labour ain't been socialist since before Blair. Yep, I get you, but no, that's collectively as a party. There are some socialist sort of people within the organisation, but they are, as far as I'm concerned, they're the Red Tories. I voted for Blair and Blair Labour first time round, not the second time, because he took us to a war in the Gulf that I did not believe in at all, and that's coming from an ex-soldier. I thought that was the wrong thing to do. But no, you're absolutely right, Barry. Blair, the Corbyn was a dirty old man, but do you know something? His ideas weren't. Okay, he as a person could, if he just shut up for a while, okay, he might have done better if he didn't talk so much shit. And he had a bit of power behind him. He managed to get people going for it. And I'm not saying he's a good leader, because if he was a good leader, he'd be in power. You know, he would be prime minister. But he wasn't. And yeah, I totally don't disagree with you. And other people think that he's an IRA sympathiser. Well, that's contentious with the way that he was part of the team that brought us in connection with the IRA and stuff. And yeah, did he do bad? Potentially, yes. Did he do wrong? Yes. Did he do good? Potentially as well. You know, it just depends which side of the fence you actually look at it. What are you saying, Morgan? Hold on a second. I need to make this screen bigger so I can read it. God damn it. Where's my chat window gone? Here it is. Right, okay. Yeah, and that is a fair thing to vote for as well, Morgan, with their positive track records towards, you know, all the people's rights with the community of, you know, homosexuals, trans, other alternative lifestyle type things going on, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Compared to the Tories, they've got they kind of like the LGBTQ sort of rights a lot more compared to all, and you have to vote with what's important to you. It's like my neighbour votes for the Conservative Party. I don't have a problem with that. You have to be allowed to vote for it. I disagree wholeheartedly with the Conservative policies, and I find it difficult to understand how anybody in Scotland feels that the Conservative Party is a positive influence in Scotland. I just don't think so. But I accept their beliefs, and I don't mock them. You know, they're allowed. I don't think that they're dicks for voting. Well, maybe some of them. Yeah, some of them, without a doubt, yeah. But, you know, I feel very strongly that people have a right to vote for whom they want. Apart from voting for Nigel Farage, I think that if you vote for Nigel Farage, you're just being stupid. You know, Nigel Farage. He's been really quiet, hasn't he? Nigel Farage. We'll have to have a look him up at the end of the show. Okay. Daily Telegraph, extra 1 billion for children to catch up on learning. Airbridge plan boosts hopes of holidays from early July. They've been saying this Airbridge thing for weeks now. It's just a wee reminder that they're still thinking about it, because if there was anything positive about it, they'd have said we're in talks with Turkey, Spain, Portugal, blah blah blah. They would have named names. The government would have done that. But obviously it's just like, let's talk about track and tracing. Let's talk about testing. What are we doing about testing? I don't know. I thought that was your job. No. I had the idea. You were supposed to go and make it happen. No. If it was your idea, you should have made it happen. No, I'm only the health secretary. I come up with the health ideas. You're the implementation secretary. Oh, sorry, you're the prime minister. Boris, ridiculous. Left hand does not know what the right hand is doing. But I like that, an extra billion for children to catch up on learning. I'm going to be getting ruined, caught up on a lot of things. He's going to go back to school as an absolute crammed, hot-boxed genius. Church and Bank of England apologise for historic links to slavery. See, that is a good thing, okay? But at the same time, you can't erase that out their history. It can't be taken out. It happened. And if they've evolved and they're no longer involved in slavery, they've evolved and they're not involved, yeah, okay, then that's cool, alright? We're allowed to change our minds. We're allowed to change our values and look at thinking, oh, wait a minute, maybe slavery's bad. Maybe we should stop that. Yeah. And we stopped it years ago, obviously, alright? But, nah. It's good that they recognise that. It's good that they come out publicly and say such things. I'm totally for that, which is good. See, Morgan saying something else. Hold on a second. I need to go closer to the screen. Sorry, Barry, I'm touching my mic. I should make sketches about taking the piss out of the government. Honestly, I think that's a great idea. I probably could. We'll think about that. Well, minute-long TikToks or something. I don't know. I'm sure that there's something in there that would work wonders. Anywho, right. The 2020 GCSE and A-level grades set to be cut. Millions of proposed grades likely to be marked down by exam boards this summer after generous predictions by teachers. Students and school backlash is expected on results day in August. Draft predicted grades higher than the average awarded last year in every subject, says analysis by education think tank. These poor kids that have not had an opportunity to actually demonstrate their educational level, and they're going to be penalised for this. Wow. It's like my oldest just got what's going to be happening when he goes back to school. We said ages ago on this show, I think it was the morning, it might have been an evening one as well, what would be a good way to have kids going back to school, and it was like a couple of days a week and then distance learning. That looks like what's going to happen in Scotland. Definitely for my son's school, they're actually going straight in to their fourth year work for their equivalent of GCSEs immediately. When they hit third year, they're going straight into they're having to restructure the timetable because they're only going to be at school 2 days a week, and that's a very positive thing. It keeps them safe, and yeah, I could use my phone to read the live chat, Barry. Okay, god damn it, but I've got the jelly roll thing up. I don't want to go and look at it again, you know. And it means, yeah, okay, right, fine, okay, thanks Dad. I've got to do everything. Anyway, back to Paxton. So he's going to be starting his 4th year work straight away. They're going to be doing 2 days a week, and he's of the mindset going straight in with both feet, and hitting the ground running in every euphemism for positive educational things that you can possibly imagine. I think primary schools are supposed to be doing something very similar, and hopefully Alia and Paxton will be at school at the same time, because then it becomes a bit more difficult. I mean, we'll have to change the dynamic and the way that they are in the house as well, depending on what's going on. I mean, will they be at school Monday and Tuesday? Will they be at school during the week? Will their mum be going back to work and not be able to look after them during the day if they're not at school? I mean, they're when we go back to the usual routine, they're here Wednesday to Sunday one week, Tuesday to Friday the following week. So we've got the majority of the time that they're at school, they're here, and I'm all for that. It means that they have a consistency with going to school and stuff, and I think that's really, really important. Okay, here we go again. Hey, if you had Android, you could do both at once. Right, shut up, Barry. Shut up. I can hear you laughing all the way from your house right now. Okay, well, maybe we'll get an Android. Maybe we'll get a Hawaii or whatever they're called. Here we go. Dame Vera, rest in peace. We'll meet again. Hold on. We've got a Dominic Cummings thing. Excellent. Oh, Dom and Dumber. Just 3 weeks after Dom Cummings shames Bojo, it's Dom Rab's turn. Okay. Dominic Rab, right? Is it not the... Right, okay. The Daily Star has superimposed smiling pictures of Dame Vera Lynn sporting a poppy onto the backdrop of the white cliffs of Dover. That's a good picture, we like that. Okay, the paper leads on Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab saying that footballer players' decisions to take a knee seems to be taken from the TV drama Game of Thrones. It's called it an embarrassing gaffe. What a friggin' dick. Wow. So basically, to turn round and show support for something that is I'm calling it Hawaii on purpose just to trigger you, Barry, alright? And it worked. Yes. Anyway, the point being here is about Dominic Raab is you're a dick. How dare you say that? How dare you say it's a gaffe? How dare you say that? Do you have a chip on your shoulder where you know that there's institutional racism and you just don't want to deal with it? Probably. Yeah, that's like... I'm not even going to go there. There we go. Financial Times, great colour. Oh, hold on. Is that? I thought that was a Hawaii phone there on the front of there. Is it? No, it's not. Tories scrap contact tracing app. Yes, we know that. And that is the papers, which is great. Thank you very much, papers. I think that what I do have as well now is, let me just change the camera so I can go and change the other thing, is that I have pictures of Dame Vera Lynn growing up, just so we can give her a little bit of time here just now. These photographs are the story of her life. Wow, she was a cute baby. Actually, do you know what? That looks just like my christening robe. They all look the same, but it looks just like it. It's amazing. By the early age of 7, the talented Vera was singing in working men's clubs, an audience she described as great, soon became the family's main breadwinner. That's amazing. They wouldn't be able to do that these days. Child labour laws would prevent it. When she turned 11, Vera took her grandmother's maiden name of Lynn as her stage name. She had no formal singing lessons as a child and just one as an adult. She said, "I thought I could extend my range, but when the teacher heard me sing, she said, 'We cannot train that voice. It it's not a natural voice. So I said, well, thank you very much, madam, and she left. Wow, that's amazing. She was spotted at the age of 15 while singing in the popular baths by local band leader Howard Baker. He signed her up on the spot in 1936 when she was 19. She had her first solo record called The Wooden Hill to Bedfordshire. I'm going to go and look that one up. Let's just take a wee copy of that just now. I want to hear that. By the age of 22, she'd sold more than 1 million records. That's pretty good for that time. She bought her parents a house and herself a car. However, it was during World War II that her reputation was made. She frequently sang to the troops at moral-boosting concerts, becoming known as the Force's sweetheart. One of her most famous songs of We'll Meet Again was released in 1939, and as the war progressed, it increasingly resonated with the British public. As Vera said, it was a good song, as it goes with anyone, anywhere, saying goodbye to someone. A large part of her wartime appeal came from her BBC radio programme Sincerely Yours, which ran in 1941 to 42 in the form of a letter to the men of the forces. Look at her there, she is, what a good looking lady, you know, wow, you know, God. One feature was announcing the arrival of the babies back home, but that had to be cancelled because producers were so overwhelmed with the news of new arrivals. She had a wholesome appeal that made her a favourite with families as well as troops. Not everyone thought she was good for morale, however. One retired soldier complained in a letter to the Daily Telegraph that such a sickly and maudlin programmes are largely responsible for the half-hearted attitude of so many people towards the war. Wow. But her popularity was such that she was voted the British Expeditionary Force's favourite singer, beating Bing Crosby, who with whom she is pictured, and she also beat Judy Garland. Amazing. Okay, she travelled the world to entertain troops, including to Myanmar, which was then Burma, India, and Egypt. She later recalled staying in grass huts and using a bucket of water for a shower. In 1941, Vera married Harry Lewis. They had a daughter, Virginia, and lived together in Ditchling, East Sussex for 58 years until his death in 1999. Following a defeat of Nazi Germany, BBC Variety Department broadcast a victory programme on VE Day 1945. She was joined by entertainers and returned British prisoners of war. Her popularity survived the war. Years after peace, she toured all over the Commonwealth, appeared in Las Vegas as well, amazing, and performed for the British royal family. Wow, what a woman. Oh, that's a great picture with the Spitfire or the Hurricane thing. That's amazing. Look at her, even in old age. That's the sort of old lady that I want to sit down and have a cup of tea with, you know. Right, we asked earlier on as well, just while we're going through this, that's the pictures all done there, brilliant. We asked earlier on, who would you like to spend some historical figure who you would like to spend a bit of time with? Is there anybody that you would want to? Mike, let's have a look. Let's go back through the chit chat, see if we see anything. That's me come back to. Right, that's no. Drop down the people that you would like to spend time with. I would like, personally, I think spending time with Martin Luther King. I've got questions I would like to ask him. What was it that sparked his tenacity? What was it that clicked? Was it just the wanting to do the right thing that made him move forward the way that he did? I do think that he would have been an interesting person. This is historical. This isn't like people like celebrities or anything. It's historical characters, actual historical people. And who else was the other one? I'd like to ask Gandhi a question. Is it true that you tested your chastity by sleeping beside young girls? Because if that was true, it puts Gandhi's whole message in a whole different light. We can't excuse that. That means that we should be ripping down statues of Gandhi for being a potential paedophile. There's a bust of Gandhi in my local park in the Winter Garden in one of the hothouses. When we get to go out and do live broadcasts, I'll take you there. But wow, I mean, really, Gandhi, did allegedly sleep. And you know what? If I could sit down and have a cup of tea with him and he said, yeah, you know what, I did that, I'd slap him. You're a dick. Let's see when people who are historical icons do such things like that. Wow, it's wow. But did he test his chastity, his chaste, by sleeping beside young women, young girls? I don't know. Tell me what you think. What time is it? My goodness, it's 28 minutes past 7. It's time to start waking the children up and get sorted for the day as well. Yeah, hold on. We'll Meet Again features in the Fallout radio show. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. That's brilliant. Brilliantio. That's cool. Right, so tonight we are back on 10:30 with the open mic show. I'm going to work on finishing a little bit of content that I might like to feature on the show. And yeah, I might do that as upload it and do it as a premiere for after the show. If I can get it finished. I've got the video made, I just need to do the last couple of verses of the words that are being overlaid with it as well. So we'll do that tonight if I get round to finishing it all. And if you can't think of your historical characters just now, that's cool. You've got until this evening. We can resume this conversation then, because I'm actually very interested to hear what you've got to say about historical characters. I think it would be interesting to also sit down with Vera Lynn and discover who she was as a person, because I only know of her from her music, from listening to her and her very famous songs. That's why I took a copy of the whatever one it was. Let me just actually see if that's there. I wonder if it's on YouTube. Let's see. Here we go. Vera Lynn, Up the Wooden Hill to Bedfordshire. I wonder if this is probably copyrighted, and we'll probably get a strike for it. But I'm going to play 15 seconds of it once the advert finishes. There we go. Hold on. Wow. Hear the static. Oh, wow. Right, we're not playing too much of that because I don't want a copyright strike if that's copyrighted. I mean, it's on YouTube anyway, but we'll find out if it's copyrighted. Up the wooden stairs to Bedfordshire, and it's all got pictures of bedrooms and staircases in that video. Amazing. But there you've got it. So, wait, I know, and it's only 3 or 4 songs that I know of Vera Lynn's, and that will be actually the 4th one. But God rest your soul, Vera Lynn. Sleep well in the world, and I hope hope your family is okay, your daughter's cool. Ripe old age. Ripe old age, 103. It's very sad when things like this happen. But anyway, let us move past it and go to the part of the show where we say goodbye, and we will see you tonight at 10:30 for a good chat, and I will have no control over it because no doubt Barry and Jason will do their utmost to make it difficult for me to retain control of a show and talk about inappropriate things like they do sometimes. They can't help it. They're good boys. We love them. We will see you later. Take us, care us.